Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today I'm going to showcase a 1-bar heavy attack Oakensoul build for the Magicka Templar, updated for the Firesong DLC patch. This build is capable of pulling over 90k on the parse dummy and is a solid build for group content. Please use these builds as a baseline, as there are many viable gear sets and skills in the game to customize to your own preference or situation. Anyways, with that being said, here's the build. So starting off in the character sheet, we have 64 points into Magicka, and we're running the Thief Mundus. For the race, we're a high elf for this particular build. I think high elves are probably some of the best for Magicka DPS, including heavy attack builds. For consumables, for the food, we have a few different options, but Bystat is probably the easiest and best option for most situations. Reason being is we don't need sustain because we are a heavy attack build. Another option you can do is you can go Bewitched Sugar Skulls for more of your off-stat resource as well. For the potions, since we are a heavy attack build, we're going to have tons of sustain. Therefore, we don't need to run any potions for sustain. Instead, you can run something like Tri-Stat potions to act as a pseudo heal or to recover your off-stat resource. So for CP, for the blue tree, we're going to be running Exploiter, Weapons Expert, Deadly Aim, and Wrathful Strikes. For the red tree, Balanced Vitality, Fortified, Rejuvenation, and Celerity. So for the gear, we're going to be running 5 pieces of Sergeant's Mail paired with 5 pieces Stormmaster and 1 piece Light Time Crawl. So breaking it down in the main hand, we have a Precise Lightning Staff of the Sergeant with a poison damage enchant. Reason we have a poison damage enchant is we get concussion through our elemental susceptibility. Therefore, we don't need a shock damage. For the head, we have 1 piece Light Slime Crawl and Divines with a max mag enchant. For the chest, 1 piece Sergeant's Mail. This is in Divines with a max mag enchant as well. For the rest of the body, we have 5 pieces of Stormmaster, all traded in Divines with max mag enchants. And for the jewelry, 2 pieces of Sergeant's Jewelry, both Bloodthirsty with spell damage enchants. And lastly, the Oakensoul, which is Bloodthirsty with a spell damage enchant as well. For the skills, we're going to be running Purifying Light, Blockade of Storms, Elemental Susceptibility, Ritual Retribution, Barbed Trap, and Shooting Star. So for the rotation, just input a skill every time your heavy attack is about to go off. Keep up Purifying Light, Ritual Retribution, Barbed Trap, Elemental Susceptibility, and Blockade in that order. And whenever your ultimate Shooting Star is ready, you can just drop that. And just a quick tip, make sure your Ritual Retribution and Purifying Light run their whole course, don't recast them early. And the reason you don't want to do that is because Ritual Retribution does more damage the longer it ticks, and Purifying Light has to explode to do that big burst of damage. So for closing thoughts, the reason why we're running Elemental Susceptibility and pairing that with a poison damage enchant is because Elemental Susceptibility will proc Concussion, meaning that as long as our wall is up, it's going to proc off balance. Therefore, we can benefit from the increased damage to heavy attacks. And on top of that, it's going to allow us to proc Exploiter for increased damage. So for the flex spot, either Elemental Susceptibility or Barbed Trap would probably be it. So if you do take off Elemental Susceptibility, make sure you put a shock damage enchant on your staff so that you can get higher up times on off balance. Second up, if you do want to get rid of Barbed Trap because you do have to go into melee range for it, you can swap that out for whatever you may need for certain situations. So for gear alternatives, there are 4 other heavy attack sets you can use: Undaunted Unweaver, Undaunted Infiltrator, Infallible Mage, and Noble Duelist. So the thing about Undaunted Unweaver and Undaunted Infiltrator is they don't have the best 2 to 4 piece bonus, and the heavy attack boost that you get from meeting the requirements is only 1645, which is a little bit less than Noble Duelist and significantly less than Sergeant's Mail. So for Infallible Mage, this is a good source of Minor Slayer, although Oakensoul does provide that for us, so we don't need it. The 5 piece only adds 900 extra heavy attack damage, which is far lower than any of the other heavy attack sets. It does affect enemies with minor vulnerability, but it just doesn't add enough DPS to warrant it. So last up is Noble Duelist. If you need more penetration and you want to go like light armor on the body instead of medium with Stormmaster, you can go Noble Duelist. It has okay 2 to 4 piece bonuses, and the 5 piece bonus is actually really strong, but the drawback is you have to be in melee range, so there's that to consider. But any of these sets would work just fine. And that wraps up the build explanation section. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or come join our Discord. Link is in the description. And also in the description, I will have a written guide for those who prefer that. And I've also started a channel membership for those who like to go the extra step to help support me. And lastly, I did take an extended break. I apologize about that. And I'm going to try to get back to making more builds, so stay tuned for more. And as always, have a good day and see you in the next one.